And so, go
Good
ahead.
afternoon, everyone. Here we are at the Encompass space, and we're in for a treat with Laurel giving a talk that is sort of commemorating our last meeting before the fall here at Compass. The title of her speech is Finding Your Voice, a Quest. So please help me welcome Laurel Succo. And it's her birthday today.
Thank you, Johanna, and welcome, honored Encompass guests. Finding my voice has been a quest, a long journey. I want to tell you about this, mostly about the obstacle, the big obstacle in my path, and how I found my way around it. And I will conclude with an acknowledgement. I joined Toastmasters years ago because I wanted to learn to speak more easily and naturally, feel comfortable in front of a group of people. Came in second in a public speaking contest when I was 14, junior high school. So I believe that desire probably stayed latent all these years. So I joined Toastmasters, but I did not stay very long. The only way I could present a speech was to memorize it. This was so much work and so arduous and so strenuous for me, and I couldn't see my way around it, that I gave up. 12 years later, Johanna asked me to join Speechcraft. She said a much more informal group, not all the roles of the timer and the grammarian, not so structured as a regular Toastmasters meeting. And one of my very good friends, Carrie Ann, was going to join with me. This helped me on my way. And the meetings were fun. Okay, and then we're starting at, okay. And then COVID came, and all the meetings were on Zoom. By this time I joined Beachcombers, so I decided to video my speeches. It was a lot of fun, but I was actually one more step removed from speaking naturally and spontaneously, because not only was I memorizing, but I was videoing my presentation. But everyone was very appreciative of my technological skills, and I just carried on for a while in that mode, and then graduated to speaking live on Zoom. So things were progressing, and receiving such wonderful encouragement and feeling more and more at home in my club, and also getting a lot of practice giving impromptu speeches here in the Encompass space. The turning point for me was a workshop at one of our meetings given by Margaret Hope. She gave me hope that I could find my way around this big obstacle of needing to memorize my speeches. I have some tips here. I keep them in a little envelope, and I just found this envelope tucked in the back of my desk the other day. She said things like, stay conversational. Use pauses, texture, and pitch to match what you're saying. Be present. Have a playful approach. Speak a little louder to make sure people can hear you. Map and outline. She said there is a difference between these sort of informal speeches and polished presentations. And finally, the final word was be authentic. Now, this is what had always confused me. On the one hand, I wanted to find my authentic voice. On the other hand, I saw all these skills exemplified in the glove approach: gestures, language, organization, vocal variety, enthusiasm, those things that go into making a good speech. I wasn't sure if I concentrated too much on the skills that I would start to sound artificial. Was it an artifice? How could I still have my authentic voice when I'm being told to do all these other things. It just seemed like such a clash. But when I listen to Margaret, I'm really getting something out of what she's saying. I really am enjoying her conversational tone. It's very natural. She knows what she's saying. She's connecting with me. I drank it all in and realized, well, that's what I want to do. So if she says, don't memorize, hey, I guess I won't memorize. And slowly, even since then, even just today, becoming clearer about finding my voice is a practice. So I can put those two things together. Being authentic and the artifice, they join in with the practice of expressing my voice, saying what I want to say, because I'm not just blurting things out and getting things off my chest. I'm wanting to connect with I'm wanting to say things in a way that people will understand and appreciate. And so all these using gestures, good language, organizing, the vocal variety, the enthusiasm, this all helps people to really get the hang of what am I saying? What do I want to say? Why is it important that I'm here saying anything at all? So this is the practice of these skills. And I would like to acknowledge all the skills that I've seen exercised by this group, developed by the wonderful people in our Encompass group. Cynthia, practice and practice and practice and practiced. I have, I think, 11 versions of her Wild Stallions as she practiced to get that authentic 11-year-old voice for her story. And it was amazing. I have videos, wonderful videos of Sheila as she's practicing for the same festival, her haiku workshop. And what I really appreciate about Sheila is that she knew what she was comfortable with. She knew what she didn't like. She was always feeling her own way, figuring things out for herself. And this is great. That's what we want. We want to have clarity. What's working for me? What isn't working for me? Lily is enthusiasm exemplified, sharp clarity. She's just the diamond in my mind, the sparkling beacon to how we can progress when we really have that desire. Even with English as a second language, she's finished her level 1 and she's going to be Vice VP of Public Relations for her club. So yay, Lily. Wonderful. I had the pleasure of listening to Sarah's video the other day on when she recited that poem on faith. And it sent shivers up my spine, the genuine loving, the desire of Sarah for this recognition of our unity with each other and with the planet. And it's all contained in her voice. And she has developed the skill to be able to convey that. And then, of course, Darianne, who was one of the first people here, reciting her poem, her Sam McGee poem, which is honestly one of the most enjoyable poems to listen to. What a treat that was. And then, of course, Johanna, who will always be my mentor in all things Toastmaster because of her depth of experience and skills that she has acquired over decades. It is wonderful to be a part of this team and to be on this quest together for continuing to develop our authentic voice. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Laurel. How wonderful, and what an apropos speech for our last meeting, although we'll all be connecting over the summer in various ways. So you asked me to evaluate your speech, and that's a Toastmaster practice, because it not only requires that we very much listen, but those elements that you mentioned, glove, GLOVE, are what I'm looking at to see how well you did. So what I noticed right off the bat, what you excelled in, was you set us up with your structure. You opened in a strong way and let us know that you'll tell us a bit of your journey and that there will be a conclusion, that you'll be acknowledging people that have really supported you and that you've lent support to over the year. So I love that. And it made us relax and we just enjoyed. And you applied that conversational tone, like it was very engaging. The gestures, they were there, but you were so intent on communicating your message, I believe, that you didn't want to have a lot of distraction. That's how I got it. So I think your gestures were very intentional. But knowing you with your karate, I think you can, this is one idea, that you can be a little more out there. Just a thought. The vocal variety was good. You put emphasis on words that really you wanted to, show, and you demonstrated that very well. I think that's where you've really grown over this past couple of years. Would you agree?
Yeah.
The authentic, as you described it, is allowing you freedom to just belt it out when you need to and hone back when you want to. So the enthusiasm and the whole picture of your journey was a really wonderful. I know you reflected on it a lot. There was preparation there, but you managed to really ground it to us, to your audience. So thank you. And where this could go, like you mentioned, it will go on the website and you'll share it with other Toastmasters. So we're very excited, and I love that you started with Speechcraft, where we started this Encompass, and now we can reflect on Lily's path, joining Toastmasters. English is second language, my goodness. Just a correction, I've been in Toastmasters 10 years, 1 decade.
Feels like,
but the decade, yes, yeah. I think I could have been all your decades of community experience.
Well, that's what my daughter says.
Yeah.
Because I guess I've been a talker most of my life. But and really, this Encompass has been so fabulous for me too. I've just found my voice, my authentic self outside of my retirement. I can just be who I am. You encourage that. So what a great thing. Thank you.